Hello, this is Tola from Trifold Productions with another Blender quick tip. And in this quick tip, I'm going to show you how you can style hair or make any hairstyle in Blender just using these simple steps. Now, this is Blender 2.91. I've seen that in Blender 2.9 and 2.91 and above, as opposed to 2.79. 2.9, I think it's 2.8 also. They have a better hair system than 2.79 and below. And it's a lot easier to work with, a lot better. But the first thing we're going to do is get rid of our cube, and I'm going to import a model into Blender that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go to Import, Wavefront Object, and this is a model I've used from another tutorial. I'm just going to import that one, this one, and she's here. Let's reposition her. Let me turn on my screencast keys. Okay. Reposition this so it's more visible. Alright, and we're going to reposition her so we can see her fully, especially her head. And we're going to create two collections. To name the first one Body, B-O-D-Y, enter. And click on that, left click, right click, new collection. Double tap in there and name this hair. Enter. I'm going to click on our model and go into X-ray mode and wireframe mode, and 3 to look at it from the right side, and go into edit mode by pressing tab and then A to deselect, C to circle select. Sorry about that, a little whistle there. This is like the 10th time I've done this tutorial. It's a lot of hidden things in Blender sometimes, but I just got to keep on trucking. And that looks pretty good. Let's get this section here and get these two parts right here. 3 parts. Let's make sure we don't select the ears, but if they're selected, as we can see, this part there is selected. So press C on your keyboard, hold down your middle mouse button, left click, or click on your middle mouse button. And the same thing on this ear, C, click, middle mouse button. 3 again to go into side view, and we're going to press Shift D to duplicate the skull. Shift D. Left click to confirm that selection, and then we're going to press P on our keyboard, and from the pop-up menu, click selection. That's going to separate this as a separate mesh from the rest of the body. Got out of edit mode by pressing tab, and then let's go back into the different viewer shade mode and turn off X-ray. Let's click on that body and press M, and then from the pop-up menu, click on body to transfer the head of the body to that. Let me see. Oh, okay, I guess that's good, yeah. So the body is where it's supposed to be. Let's click on our scalp here, press M, and send that to the hair collection. And let's double click in there to rename it to hair. It's always good to rename your meshes to keep track of them. Let's click on File, excuse me, and Save. Let's go down to where I saved it the 100th time, and let me just find where that is. Hairstyle, Save Blender file. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to divide up this side of Blender, this side of the window. Let's expand this a little bit. I'm going to turn to a double arrow, drag to our left here, and drag this down. And we're going to divide this into 2 windows and turn this to the UV editor. So we're going to click on this icon and go to UV editor. Now I'm going to navigate to where I saved an image. Now this image I can't provide for you guys because it's not mine. Hopefully it's not Creative Commons, because I don't want YouTube to take down this video, but let me drag this over. And we're just going to create this simple hairstyle. I don't know who this is. It's just a lady I found online. So we're going to make this, it's just a simple hairstyle. We're not going to style it. I'm just going to show you the basic principles for making any hairstyle in Blender. You can just follow the steps. You can create any hairstyle you want, basically. But I'm just doing a simple hairstyle with the part down the middle. And you can press this pin here, and this ensures sometimes in Blender, when you're working on the mesh in edit mode and you have an image in the UV editor, once you get out of edit mode, it makes the image disappear, but this ensures that it does stay where it is. So we're going to reposition our skull here, our scalp, and call it the scalp. And we're going to go to edit mode again by pressing tab, and go into top view by pressing 7. Reposition this again, and we're going to select down the middle. So we're going to hold down Alt and then left click, and we're going to deselect these two vertices at the front by pressing C, middle mouse button, and clicking and dragging to deselect those two vertices, and then press Ctrl E on our keyboard and press Mark Seam. Actually, let's do it all the way. So let's press C again. We're going to select all of that. C. C again. I don't know why I just selected that whole face, and then Control E again, and then Mark Seam. And then let's get out of wireframe mode by pressing Z, because I pressed that accidentally. And now we have that whole middle part selected, because we want to excuse me, create a part down the middle. Now this is just to keep in mind that if you're creating a more complex hairstyle, you have to pretty much just gauge it by the way you want it to be divided up. If you wanted bangs in the front, you would actually have to section it off to where you would have this part separated, and have the seam go across these set of vertices to have the bangs. I mean, if you were doing a model with like maybe different lengths of hair all around her head, you have to divide up the scalp to reflect that. So that's the key thing with this technique. Make sure that whatever hairstyle you're doing, you divide the scalp to reflect the different parts of the hair for that hairstyle. Okay. And since we've done that, we're going to go and assign different vertices to different sections. In order to do that, we have to go into face select. So let's click on our face select mode there, and this only works in face select, so we're going to press this. Any face is okay, and press Ctrl L, and they'll just choose that side. Now I've seen that when you create a vertex group in Blender with the pen activated, or is activated, the options for vertex groups in terms of assigning the vertex groups won't appear. So in order to get past that, let me show you what I mean. Let me click on this, and for some reason now it comes up. I don't know if it's a bug or what it is, but sometimes if this pen is activated, you create a new vertex group, none of these options come up. But if that happens, deselect that pen and then press plus again, and then they'll come up. But we're gonna call this the left side. I think this is left. So this is left. So I'm gonna double click in there and type in left, enter, and then assign. Then press A. Then left click on any face on this side, and then press Ctrl L. We're gonna press the plus sign to create another vertex group. Double click and call this right, and assign. And then we're gonna go to File and Save. And hopefully this doesn't crash. This is like, I've been recording for quite some time, but thank God it didn't crash. Now to make sure that your vertex groups are selected to the right side, just press A to deselect everything, and then press select right. That's good. And then go to left, select. That's also activated, so that's good. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create our particle systems. So you're going to go to this icon, press on that, and press plus once, and then double click in there and type in left for the left side, enter, and do it again here. Left click in there and type in left, enter, File, Save. Let's get out of edit mode by pressing that, and turn from emitter to hair. Now the hair shows all over, but we're going to fix that because we want it to only be assigned to the left side of the head. And the number, we're going to leave all the parameters as they are, not mess with anything, because we're not trying to style there. We're just trying to go through the steps for recreating or creating a hairstyle in Blender. So we're going to leave all this as it is. go down to children and click on interpolated, so that increases the number of hairs in the viewport and in the final render also. We're going to go to render 2 and turn off emitter. That way when it renders, the scalp won't be seen, only the hair itself. And we're going to scroll down some more, and we're going to go to vertex groups, and in density we're going to left click in there and go to left. And I see only on the left side is where the hair is seen, and that's what we want. We're going to do this again for the right side. Let's scroll up. We're going to press on plus, double click, type in right, enter, click in there once, type in right also, enter, file, save. From emitter, change this to hair also. Leave all these settings as they are. Go down, go to interpolated, and in density for the vertex group, click in there, make this right, and now we only have the right side selected or set up. And let's click on file and save again. Now we're going to scroll up. We're going to start working on the hair one side at a time. So whenever you're working on your hair in terms of what section you're working on, just make sure that that's been highlighted in the options here. So because we're working on the left side, let's click on left, and then we're going to go to this section of Blender, turn from object to particle edit, and we're going to, I usually like working with this setting here because it gives you more options there to work with. Let's left click on that. Then we're going to click on comb, and I'm going to turn the strength all the way up. Go to 1 for the front view. I'm just going to comb this down. Comb this all the way down. And I'm going to go to 3 for the side view. Now if you find that your viewport is kind of struggling a little bit, you can turn off the viewport display for the right side, and that'll speed it up so it works a little bit better. It's going to comb this down, go to the back, comb this down also, go to the front again. Now you can see that her hair is kind of long, so we're going to kind of lengthen it with this, make it a little bit longer. And you have to keep in mind that once you're working in Blender in terms of like the hair and things like that, you know, just take care with, you know, how you're styling the hair, because you want to treat your model as though it's a person. You know, they're working on a person's hair. Let's comb this some more. Let's go to the side view, comb this down. Now we're going to cut it by pressing on that icon, kind of trim this on the side, go to the front and trim it in the front a little bit. Okay, and then that's done. Let's go back to object mode, and that looks pretty good. And let's activate the right side, turn this on, and let's turn that off for now. And with the right side selected, once again, object to particle edit, I'm going to comb our hair again, comb the hair of our model, of the scalp, side view, comb this down. Let's kind of pivot around with our mouse so we can comb it on this side also. Okay, we've got that. Let's make it a little bit longer. Press that, lengthen it out a little bit. Just left click on it and just kind of let Blender grow the hair out. Let's turn on our left side so you can see the length also. Let's cut this down a little bit. Oh, actually quite a bit. Okay. Look at it from the side. Control 3. Look at it from the side. Looks good. Let's comb this down some more. Okay. And then one thing you need to be mindful of is that if you want to have bangs in the front of your model's hair, if your model has bangs in the front, you'll come across an issue where the hair will not go down at all. No matter how much you try to pull it down, it does not go down. To fix that, in particle mode, turn off deflect emitter, because what it's doing is it's deflecting the emitter, which is the scalp, is deflecting the hair particles to stand up. So turn this off, and then you can comb the hair down in the front. But from the side, from our hairstyle, this looks pretty good. It's kind of feathered in the front a little bit, somewhat. But let's kind of lengthen it a little bit in the front again, this part. And then we're going to comb it down because it's going to look kind of crazy. Go to 3, comb it down a little bit. 1, front view. Okay. And kind of puff it out a little bit. You kind of have to be careful when you use the puff, because it makes the hair really, it's kind of out of control sometimes when it comes to puffing out the hair with the puff tool. It really makes it look kind of off. So if you want to kind of puff out your hair on your model, the best thing to do is go to the particle settings, and in children's go to kink or roughness, and then here where it says kink type, choose from these parameters and just adjust them. And I'll show you what I mean. I don't want this tutorial to go too long. Let's go to object mode. That's puffed out. Let's go back to our left side. Left sides, and then particle, edit, and let me comb this out a little bit also. Kind of puff it up a little bit. Okay, we have that. And then when it comes to giving the hair more volume, once again, like I said, go to kink. You can turn this to curl and kind of mess with the amplitude a little bit, and that makes it fluffier. And go to the right side and do the exact same thing, kink to curl and amplitude out a little bit. And then let's add a texture to it, just a basic texture. Let's delete all these. If you have a model that you've already made and it has textures assigned to it, just delete all the textures and just add a new one. And just a basic texture, basic color. I'm going to turn this kind of brown. Let me see. A little bit, yeah. And then we're going to just take a look at it and see how it looks. View, align active camera to view. I'm going to grab it on the y-axis, zoom it out a little bit. And then let's change the lighting of the environments too, if it will come up, which I don't think it will. Press A. Yeah, I don't think the environment is going to come up, but let's just take a look at it like this and see how it looks. Let me go to, well, it seems like Blender's acting strange again because now the camera settings are gone. Let's press F12 and see what we get. It won't show what we're saying here. It'll show, oh, yeah, it's not giving us the proper view because the light settings aren't in there. Sometimes I don't know why Blender does this, but it just acts weird sometimes. Let me close it out and open it back up again so we can get the final view of what we're trying to see. Blender. But it's open source, so that's a good thing. Okay, hairstyle. And it's still not coming through. Good night. Let me see. Control C to copy it. File, new, general. Delete this. Control V. Will it paste? It says it's been pasted, but I don't see anything. Oh, there it is. And there's our settings there. Let's pull this down. Yeah, Blender is just a weird. I mean, it's great because it's open source, but it just does some really strange stuff. All right, there we go. So view, line to view, active camera, control, or yeah, GY. Grab on the y-axis, pull it out, and let's change the settings here so it's not as dark. Let's press F. Let's go to cycles, GPU, final render, F12. That's how it looks. Hopefully the settings are fine. Yeah, material can get an idea of how it looks in terms of the hair strands. But yeah, this is how you would make any hairstyle in Blender, just by just dividing the scalp into different sections, and by using a seam to divide it, and then assigning different particle systems to each section of the hair to give you the ability to style the hair the way you want it to be styled. And this should not take 5 minutes to do. Let's escape this. You press Control B just to get this section of the hair. And then let's press F12 again just to see how it looks. The final render once again. It shouldn't take. Let me pause the video and then I'll just start it back up when the render's finished. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, this is the final render. Once again, you can improve it by just simply grooming the hair, putting it more in front, according to what we see in our. Let me see. Let me go to where this is. Okay, here he is. Here she is. According to what we're seeing here with her hair, just grooming it. I mean, that's pretty much it. But that's pretty much how you can create hairstyles in Blender the easy way. And once again, like I said before, patience is the key with Blender, because as you can see, there are a lot of glitches in it. When we were doing the tutorial, some of the options weren't showing up at all. But yeah, once you've gotten that concept done with dividing up the scalp into different sections and working on each section separately, you'll get the result that you want. And once again, thank you guys who have subscribed to my channel and who are subscribing now. Thank you guys who have watched this video and watched the ones in the past. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, adios.